What's good, YouTube? I'm LUISGUSTO. You know, we've worked super hard to put the best Chicago content on YouTube, but somehow our tourist traps video is the most viewed on the channel with almost 300K. So we figured, hey, if that's what y'all want to see, that's what y'all gonna get. So today, Narissa and I are going undercover as first-time Chicago visitors. Finesse that like button and let's all find out whether these tourist traps are worth the hype. As we all know, you could get Starbucks literally anywhere in the country or world for that matter. So why would a Chicago visitor come here when we have amazing coffee roasters like Intelligentsia, Metropolis, and of course my favorite, Dark Matter? Well, let's go inside and find out if this Wilfredo Wonka version of Starbucks is worth the hype. This is what you see when you walk into the world's largest Starbucks. It's a giant coffee bean roaster, and then you've got the sign that kind of tells you what's brewing upstairs. To get up, you go onto a winding escalator, which is actually very rare.
You can tell that this is a totally different type of Starbucks because they have a Princi bakery.
The smoked salmon sandwiches were out, but then they found more smoked salmon.
Maybe they're making some more from scratch.
While Narissa waits for our sandwiches, I came upstairs to the third floor. This is where they have their specialty coffee drinks. It can get a little annoying if you want to get food and coffee. You have to do one separately, and right now there is a pretty long line to grab coffee. So, but we still got here before the big morning rush.
Check out these beautiful breakfast sandwiches.
Waiting in line at the Starbucks.
You can't get these drinks at other Starbucks, which is the main argument that people have for coming to the Chicago Starbucks Reserve Roastery.
What's better than a coffee Christmas tree?
Two coffees that we've never, ever tried before.
I chose the Nitro Almond Milk Mocha. And as I was ordering this, she said, hold up, are you sure you want this drink? It has a lot of caffeine. And I said, good thing I've been training with Louis every single day for this. Okay, when she said that it had a lot of caffeine, I was expecting like this big punch of
like
acidity,
a Cuban coffee?
Yeah, like something even more like espresso filled.
This is a Princi Bakery Classic Cornetto with prosciutto and fontina cheese. I would say this is worth the wait for sure. It's an Italian version of ham and cheese and a great thing to eat first thing in the morning.
I forget exactly what the official name for this was, but I saw smoked salmon and I thought, well, gotta pick this one. Like a lox and bagel as a sandwich, but no bagel.
You know your coffee's fancy when it comes with a collectible commemorative card. This is the whiskey barrel aged cold brew. So it's very fancy as well. Looks like a little cocktail. Did they say whether this is sweetened? It's really good, but it tastes really sweet. So I'm wondering if there's sugar in this. Oh, it's a vanilla bean syrup in here. Okay. It's probably a little too sweet for my taste, but it's still good. So we finished our drinks and our sandwiches to start off the day. Is this Starbucks Reserve Roastery worth the hype? Well, I am properly fueled up now, so I'm in a good position to talk about this. I would say on the pro side, there's nothing like this. Like, yeah, you can get Starbucks anywhere, but this definitely feels like a Willy Wonka coffee factory. You can get different types of coffee drinks, great Italian baked goods from Princi. The whole experience is fun. There are several ways you can get your coffee. You can see it being made through the siphon or the Chemex or the pour over. But on the con side, it gets very crowded, which could mean long lines, and also it's tough to find seating. People basically post up before they even order and take one of the prime seats next to the window. There's no system, and people kind of abuse that, which I don't particularly like. A little bit pricey, so your wallet's gonna be hurting. You may be caffeinated, but you know your bank account's gonna be like, yo, $20 for a couple of coffees. That's a lot of money, yo. So we're trying to hurry up to our next touristy agenda item. Did I say that right? We have a timed entry here, so we gotta hurry. Time is of the essence. So Narissa is here calling us a luxury ride, maybe a Range Rover or a stretch limo.
We're on a mission to get to about to go 50 gazillion feet up in the air.
The next touristy thing on our agenda is the Sears Tower Sky Deck. This is their new light court. They have Urban Space, which is a food court. Color Factory's in the Sears Tower now, which we did in a separate film. So you should definitely check that one out. 10 a.m. is our assigned time. I mean, they do have two kinds of tickets. They have a general time reservation, and they've got like a priority access where you can just skip everything, go straight up. That was a little bit expensive. We're not trying to spend all that money. We've been up there before, so. Oh, there's one more escalator that comes down. It's actually kind of ironic that you have to go down 2 levels to go up 100 plus.
Just took my first day of school photo.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Take a photo and then you walk through like a visual history of Chicago.
There's the cow. What does it feel like?
Terracotta.
Adoy. Lightning strikes.
This looks like a Lego model of the Sears Tower. The whole experience before you take the elevators up to the ledge and sky deck is very touristy. Like, they designed it with tourists in mind, and it's nice. It kind of gives you a crash course about Chicago's history and culture. Some of the photo ops are a little corny, but overall it's a great experience. All right, walking through this nondescript room to get onto the elevator. This one actually has...
Future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. Found a new mug for all the coffee that we drink at home. They should put all of the things you can get in this gift shop in a Sears catalog.
There's no narration when you come up the elevator, no show. Like when you go up in the World Trade Center in New York, there's a whole montage of New York City animation from like wilderness to modern city, and there's nothing in these elevators. At least they need to put a Morgan Freeman style narration and be like, "Welcome to the sky deck." That wasn't Morgan Freeman, by the way. I don't know how to do Morgan Freeman.
Or you could give a stand-up comedy show in the elevator.
Narissa's showing us how to expertly get footage.
You gotta get the skyline just right.
This is where Ferris Bueller and his crew stood to overlook the city of Chicago on that famous day off. Like this.
Aiming to make that face when I jump on the ledge.
Wow. These are literally Air Jordans now.
I'm a little scared of heights, so looking directly down is a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I used to be afraid of heights, but now I'm just way too busy. I don't even care anymore. Ooh, I'm up high in the sky. So what?
I see the United Center. Maybe we could watch a Bulls game from up here.
Yeah, we would need Chicago's biggest magnifying glass to see Zach LaVine and company. While it is true that you have to kind of wade through some touristy, gimmicky things downstairs before you get up here, it's worth it. You can also speed run through that interactive museum to get up here because nothing beats these views. I've been coming up to the Sears Tower Sky Deck since I was un pequeño chico. Every time I come up here, you know, I just think about life, man, and how small we really are in this.
Thanks for visiting the Sky Deck. We hope you enjoyed your time in the top and the
All of that traveling to the 103rd floor made us thirsty.
a smoothie that is weirdly warm.
It's actually very freaky to drink it. Like,
Narissa took a sip and was like, ugh, and I was like, uh-oh, what'd they do? She's like, no, it's warm. It's kind of odd because I make protein smoothies every single day and I throw frozen blueberries, half a frozen banana, so it comes out nice and cold.
I have never had a warm shake in my entire life, and I can't say that I am sad about that.
Yeah, not really. I mean, it tastes okay other than the fact that it's warm, but we're having an amazing day playing, first time Chicago tourists, you know, mingling with the international crowd, the Midwestern crowd.
I feel like a true tourist. Got duped with the shake and everything.
Yeah, we fell for the tourist trap of Joe and the Juice. We had to run onto the train. We just made it. Instead of doing a big bus tour, just ride the train around the loop. Go.
This is Jewelers Row, a Chicago landmark district. When we hit 1 million subs, Lewis and I are gonna buy all the diamonds on this street. El Parque. Is it El Parque? What did you say it was?
We made it to Millennium Park, El Parque del Milenio. I applied to be one of the faces on the Crown Fountain, but I never heard back. So I'm assuming they're still considering my application. Most tourists make it a point to visit Millennium Park at some point during their trip, at least if they're first timers. Welcome to Millennium Park. These are their crown fountains. In the summertime, they spray water, and the kids like to play. Admission is free, open 365 days a year.
That's a good TikTok. They are like what you said, the infinity stones that go on that glove.
Thanos.
Oh, Thanos. This is where a lot of tourists don't actually know that it's secretly a great place to take photos. What makes this bridge slightly wobbly?
If I would have continued in my civil engineering education, I could have told you.
Darn.
YouTube 101. Don't be backlit.
We're breaking the rule though.
Oh, I can do it backwards.
Oh.
Oh, but then it's too sunny.
Not possible.
Sunny in Annie's Deli?
Delicious. That was the best bacon, egg, and cheese. Got the band shell behind me, and I am here for my operatic performance.
So on the channel, I've kind of dogged the Bean a lot, and this is kind of why, because we've been all around the Loop and downtown so far today, and it's kind of been empty. Then you come to the Bean and it feels like every single tourist is here, and it's cool in the sense that it's like a nice gathering spot, but it's really not that special when you consider the rest of what downtown Chicago has to offer. So I would definitely say right off the bat, the Bean is not worth the hype.
I think I figured out why this is the #1 tourist attraction in Chicago. It's free 99. I think it's got everybody's fingerprints all around the world.
Look, I'm not saying don't see the Bean in Chicago, but if you want to come see it, try to come earlier in the morning when there's less of a crowd, because when it's like this, it kind of just feels like it's hundreds of people to see a giant paperweight. It's a recreation of the one that was here before. I do have one fun fact about the Cubs. They actually played baseball right here. That stadium was burned down though in the Great Fire of 1871. Not getting into a whole history lesson, you know, but I like to share the fun facts. So is Millennium Park worth the hype? Well, let's look at the pros. It's free. There are a lot of things to see and do, although maybe the things to do are more like photo opportunities if there's not a show going on at the band shell. You know, a nice thing to check off your Chicago bucket list. It's easy to get out the way. Here's a hint. The signs say no dogs allowed, but bring your dog, it's cool. Tell him Lewis said it was okay. On the con side, I would say, yeah, the things to do aren't really that interactive. And the Bean is overrated. So take that for what you will.
The Apple Store that's shaped like a MacBook Pro. I came here to pick up some AirPods Pro. Secured the bag. Not this one, this one's my bag.
Narissa and I need our mid-afternoon coffee. Right next to the Apple Store is the Tribune Tower, which they renovated and now put in a Foxtrot. in addition to the Museum of Ice Cream. So we're gonna grab some coffee for free, 'cause we got it like that. All right, y'all, so we grabbed the coffee from Foxtrot here on the Magnificent Mile. Of all the touristy things to do in Chicago, this by far is the one that we love the most. And it's just because there's so much to do. You got food and drink, shopping, history, landmarks, culture, all along this stretch of Michigan Avenue. You could spend $20,000 on a Louis or Gucci bag, then turn around and spend $1,000 at dinner at Michael Jordan Steakhouse. The photo ops are here, a lot of musicians, buskers, scammers, so watch out for those. But I mean, we personally love the shopping aspect of it, mixed with the history and the landmarks. It's like the closest thing that Chicago has to Times Square. I know people try to say Navy Pier is like Times Square, but it really isn't. Navy Pier is just like a little Chicago Disneyland. You get the essence of Chicago more so than any of the other tourist attractions, I think. We're here at Pizzeria Do It for our next tourist trap. Nah, we're not gonna do deep dish today. Portillo's jumbo dog with everything, beef with hot peppers, extra dip. I bet you thought we were gonna get a deep dish pizza, but no, we're actually doing the second most touristy food option in Chicago, which is Portillo's. They serve up two of the classic, iconic Chicago foods that have survived throughout the decades. Of course, the Chicago style hot dog from Vienna beef, not Vienna beef. And the Big Daddy Italian beef, extra dip with hot peppers. That's the only way to order it. Growing up as a part-time Chicagoan, I was fortunate enough to eat some of the best Italian beefs that you can get in the city. But yeah, Portillo's is something that I did love because of the ambiance, the convenience of it, the decor. They do it right here. But we're gonna see, is this worth it for tourists? Let's see.
Yeah, beautiful.
It smells good. All right, let's see. My impressions of the Portillo's Italian beef as it is today in 2022, I would say it's a solid 7 out of 10. The dip does taste a little bit watered down. Hey, call them like I taste them. It's still good though. And now let's try the jumbo Chicago style hot dog. Woo-wee. That's looking good. I almost dropped the sport pepper. Here we go. The jumbo Chicago style hot dog from Portillo's, 8.5 out of 10. We got the poppy seed bun, nice steamed Vienna beef hot dog, great toppings, tomato, relish, onions, mustard. Between the two, if you have to come here and you're just gonna pick one, go with the hot dog. The beef you can get somewhere else, like Luke's, Marco's, Johnny's.
You know, if I never had an Italian beef before, I would look at this sandwich and wonder why the bread is fully soaked in gravy. Because I've had it, I know that's where all the flavor is. So let's try. So I would agree with Lewis that the jus is a teeny bit watered down, but the hot pepper is making up for it. It's spicy.
All right, so is Portillo's worth the hype? Well, let's look at the pros. You got a great Chicago classic ambiance, sports memorabilia, lots of neon signs. It kind of gives you that old school type of vibe. After continuing to eat the Italian beef, I have to downgrade my score to a 6 out of 10. But if you want a better Italian beef, you can head to Luke's, which is on Jackson, not too far away from here. Yeah, so thank me later for that one.
Well, my stomach is full and happy after our lunch at Portillo's. I would say I might have been a little bit more upset, but I just checked the receipt, and even though it's not my favorite hot dog and Italian beef that I've ever had, it was less than $15.
Now we're at what many consider to be Chicago's #1 tourist trap. We've certainly talked about it on this channel. I've been coming here since I was a little kid. It's Navy Pier, but we're gonna go around and really try to experience it like visitors and let you know if it's worth it or not. Hopefully it is. We were gonna buy a ticket for the Centennial Wheel plus all the rides, But we get here and see that every ride is closed except the Ferris wheel. And to get on the wheel, there is a super long line to buy tickets and then a super long line to get on the wheel. That's gonna be at least a couple of hours, and we just don't wanna spend the time right now. I don't think that is worth it. Other than that, Navy Pier has a lot of chain restaurants, a lot of generic shopping. It's not really the super authentic experience that you're gonna want when you're in this city. There's a reason why residents like us rarely ever come out here. If there's a special event, you can come out here and enjoy the waves of Lake Michigan, the skyline. It's beautiful views, especially right now. It's about sunset time. So yeah, that I do appreciate, and just like the historical landmark value of Navy Pier. But come on. So while we are at Navy Pier, we are gonna check out the world's largest rooftop bar. This proves that there's always something new to do in Chicago. 2 lifelong Chicagoans here at Navy Pier, and we've never done this offshore rooftop bar. Supposedly the largest rooftop bar in the world. So we're hoping that we can enjoy a couple of beers and really get some great views of Lake Michigan and the skyline. It's a perfect way to say, is Navy Pier worth it? Let's see. Ooh, next up, offshore. Hopefully they have some good beers. If all they have is Miller Lite and Bud, we are out of there. So we ordered a couple of Revolution Anti-Hero IPAs. And really, I don't like IPAs, but anything Revolution Brewing is delicious. We had to walk past the brand new Navy Pier Hotel to get to the rooftop bar. And it's a really dope space. I love the views of the water. At a perfect time like this, where the sun is going down behind the skyline, it's really good vibes. And just say, salud.
Doing all the touristy things there are to do in Chicago, and I actually had fun. I'm pleasantly surprised by the experiences we've had today. Ultimately, it just depends on the person or people that you're with. And if you make great memories, like, you could be anywhere.
Today we had some incredible fun, but playing tourist, even in your own city, is tiring. So we earned this beer at the rooftop bar here at Navy Pier. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and we will see you next time. Peace.